Alrighty.
Did you know that, by the way, this came out a couple of weeks ago, that Apple is fixing its ducking autocorrect problem?
Yes,
Rachel?
that's a very good idea because I am never ducking.
We talked about it so much on the radio here that people started texting us the word duck as if it was like a keyword to win a contest because we kept saying things about ducks.
That's funny.
Wow.
That's funny.
All right.
Okay.
Well, if you're ready, let's go. I mean, I don't know
All right,
how
we can
quiet
go.
it is out there.
Oh, I better clap.
I better also clap.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Here you go. Ooh. I made a mess with that.
What are you drinking today?
This is a Pilsner, I think.
Anderson?
Anderson, yeah.
There we go.
Summer beer. Oh, by the way, welcome to Due to Underwhelming Demand, the podcast. Hey, you're the Pat Sajak of podcasts because it's probably about time we called it quits, too.
Sometimes I wonder.
Yeah, but we're still
How
here.
long can we...
Yeah.
It's just going
do
on
this?
for 41 seasons, that's all.
And then
Well, Pat,
and he says
he's
it's
a
about-
legend. He
it's
can't
a-
leave now.
It's about time I leave.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Although
Yeah.
the guy's like, I think he's 76. He still looks like he's 45.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
Hasn't changed at
Yeah,
all.
he looks... Yeah.
I know. It looks good.
Him and Vanna look
They look good.
spectacular.
If
They
you're
look good.
wondering how easy is it to host Wheel of Fortune, apparently extremely.
Anyway.
You have lots of time for cosmetic surgery.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, here we are. The podcast has begun.
Yes. Okay, I talked about this a lot a while ago, and we got a dog. Her name is Roxy. We got her probably 4 months ago now, and she's a little Bichon Frise. She's 2 years old, and she hates my husband.
I thought
Hates.
you were going to say she's a little something else, but yeah, it's basically
Well,
the same thing.
Okay,
you
sure.
know what? I'm getting there because she really is sometimes. So we were so excited to get this dog, but she's pretty skittish, and I guess that's kind of the breed. Also, she's like kind of a nervous dog. And we've tried to shower her with love. She loves me the most. She likes Julia too. Kendall is like third on the list, and Jeremy's literally behind everybody else in the neighborhood because she.
Even behind the rooster?
Well, she hasn't seen. She's heard the rooster, but somebody said they got rid of the rooster. Somebody said that. Yeah,
Maybe
I
the-
heard that. I don't know.
Maybe the drone got
The
rid
talk
of
of the town.
Maybe
Maybe
that.
that's what the
little too
drone's
low.
looking for. The
Yeah.
friggin' rooster.
Maybe.
Anyway, so she hates Jeremy. She growls at him. If he's
wow.
walking
Yeah.
around the house, she's just always trying to scoot away from him. She's like just on hyper vigilant, high alert every time he's home.
Mhm.
So we booked training.
That's awesome when you're the one.
Oh yeah,
Because
he's
I know
so
him.
upset about it.
Well, and here's the thing. Good luck with what I don't know what you're about to tell us, but good luck. Tell Jeremy good luck from Dave because we also had one of the same breed.
Mm-hmm.
Shemp was his name, and he didn't like me either. He didn't like. I think he didn't really care about Charlotte. And she was a lot younger then, but I think he really just didn't like me.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
Huh.
Yeah.
And the only other Bichon I've interacted with, while feeding it treats, it bit me in the nose.
Oh,
So-
she's never bitten anybody.
Well, good luck.
That like with us, she's never bitten
Good luck.
anybody.
Yeah.
She's pretty well behaved. Like she doesn't get into things really, or like she doesn't get into things or chew on things really. But she hates Jeremy. So I take her to the bus stop every day. There's 28 kids at our bus stop plus parents. So there's a lot of people at our bus stop. And then we go on a walk right after the kids get on the bus. So she sees all the people at the bus stop. She's fine with them. I mean, she doesn't love them, but she's like she's gotten used to them and she's better and she kind of sniffs people and gets a few pets now and then. And that's like good for her. And then we go on a walk and she's like she gets used to all the dogs in the neighborhood. She's made some friends. She's pretty brave from 10 feet away, and then when she gets closer she's not as brave if it's a big dog. But Jeremy, she just can't get used to. So we've tried a lot of things. He tried first of all ignoring her completely and just letting her kind of live her life, and he didn't interact with her at all. But we found that kind of made things worse, because then if he did have to interact with her, say if I wasn't home, then it was very bad. right? So then he was like, okay, well, now I'm just going to try and shower her with affection, but like from afar a little bit. So that made things a little bit better, but it's still not great. Then we've been trying, he's the only one to feed her, like at all. So we used to leave her food out all day and she would kind of pick at it because that's what happened at her old house. But now we're picking the food up and he'll put it down when he's home for like 20 minutes or so. And she's offered food several times a day, but only from him. And he's the only one who can give her treats. So she hasn't really caught on to that too much yet. And she'll hold out for a few days without eating and then finally give in and eat if he's not around and not looking.
She really doesn't like him.
Oh, she's stubborn. Oh, yeah. She's stubborn and terrified. So finally we went to training because we'd booked training with a place here in London called In Dogs We Trust. And I've heard great things about them. We know the owner. So we finally went on the weekend for our very first
wait a
training.
minute. If they want to sponsor us, we'll tell you even more good things about them.
Yeah.
What are they called?
I know.
In
Dogs We Trust.
In Dogs We Trust.
Where are they
a friend of
conveniently
ours that we
located
know.
at?
Well, they do training in a bunch of different places, I
Okay.
think.
Do they have friendly, knowledgeable staff?
Yes, they do.
Plenty of free parking and hot dogs for
And
the
they
kids?
did have free parking. No hot dogs for the kids. No.
Darn.
There was no hot dogs.
Okay.
when I
Dogs for the
went.
dogs.
Dogs for the dogs. Yeah. So we finally go, and this girl was so helpful, and she gave us so many things to think about and like 4 different things to try, and we're going back next week. So for now, we have to do a few different activities, but Jeremy's not allowed to pick her up at all, and he's not allowed to say her name because it's too much for her.
Can't
And
say her
so we're
name.
like, yeah, because she's like, oh my gosh, he's talking to me. Like she kind of freezes. Like it's I don't know. She's a tough nut. And I said to this girl, I'm like, I don't even know if this is going to help. Like, I don't know. And my empathy for her, I have to say, is waning because I felt so bad for her at first. I'm like, oh, she's so scared, like the poor thing. But now I'm just like, okay, it's been 4 months. You have a great life. We all love you.
Suck it up. Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know what more we could do. So anyways, now we're going to try more. We're going to try these training exercises. Basically, all 4 of them are to get her used to Jeremy. And I like treat her constantly when he's moving around. Like he's moving around the kitchen and she'll be just watching him. So every time she looks at him, I'm supposed to give her a treat, right? But then I've done that twice now, and I'm thinking, well, how long do I do this for? Because I could do it for 24 hours. Like, how many treats am I supposed to give her?
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's something we'll have to work out. But she's just hyper vigilant when he's around. I don't know. We'll see. I'll just give you the update on if on what we're trying and if this is going to work in the long run.
Okay.
I don't know.
I
don't know.
I have to say I tuned out after you said that your empathy for the dog is waning because all I heard was Dave and Forman were right.
Exactly. Yeah. You shouldn't ever.
That we shouldn't have a dog?
You should not have a dog. We told you. We warned you. We cautioned you.
I don't know. This one,
Even when you went to look for her, you said that she didn't like him right off the bat.
Yep.
Well, she didn't like any of us, actually.
Even worse.
Even
I know.
worse.
I know. We just didn't. I don't know. She doesn't like anybody though. She really doesn't. Like she attaches herself to me because I'm her protector, right?
Yeah.
Like I will protect her and Julia, but nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Wow, what a great dog. She doesn't like
Now I
anybody.
kind of wish I didn't talk about it.
And I think we're done. Yeah. This is Due to Underwhelming Demand, the podcast that makes you stop and think, why the hell am I listening? And that's our goal.
Maybe to that last
That's
story, I was
great.
kind of like, why am I talking about this?
What the hell am I listening?
Maybe somebody can relate.
Offer
advice.
relate, or sure, okay.
Anything.
Anyway,
I'll take anything at this point.
We're Dave, Rachel, and Forman. I have lots of people in my house as we are recording this podcast, and hopefully I'm not intruding on their
pineapples, etc.
Yeah, no. There's some construction going on
Forman.
here. I don't know, Forman. I don't know what's up with you.
Not letting
anyway.
it go.
I know. I don't know why. So there's some renovations happening here.
Major.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how major, but there's a lot of stuff going on, and they began in the ensuite bathroom and the laundry room. It's now starting to move into the kitchen is going to be redone, and we're having some work done in our living room. So there's, quite a bit of work still to go. And one of the things that the bathroom, we have been without our bathroom. That was our bathroom for now almost 2 full months. And that one I can get, it does not bother me a bit. We use a different bathroom with a shower and everything else.
You have more than one?
We have we have more than one bathroom. And so it doesn't really, that part I haven't missed, and they're working away on that, and stuff's being done there, but it's not nearly finished.
It's not quick, no.
But I will tell you what we really we did for the first time last night, just today as we record this. Last night we did 2 loads of laundry at home for the first time in 2 months.
2 months?
2
months you've been taking laundry elsewhere?
2 months at laundromats.
Laundromats. Oh, Dave. Bougie
Yes.
Dave and at a laundromat.
Of
How
all
does that
people.
look?
What
Do you
does
have any
that
photos
mean?
of that?
What does that mean?
Oh, you're so bougie. I'm just,
What
to
is
see you at a
bougie?
laundry.
What is
You're just
bougie?
like posh, I think.
I don't think I'm posh at all. I at one point lived on my own for for quite a while, and one of the first places that I lived, there was no washer and dryer, and so I did the laundromat thing. And the first thing that occurred to me when I did the laundromat thing as an adult, and I wasn't a young adult when I was living on my own, I thought to myself, I don't like this. I don't want to do this.
Nobody does.
Yeah.
So I started looking for other places to live that had laundry facilities. And I found one, and I quickly moved. But I did about 3 or 4 trips to the laundromat on my own. Yeah, it's not fun.
No.
Well, now...
I can't imagine.
Now
That's like a day. That's like a whole day.
Well, no, it's not. Not when you're one person. When you're one person, you don't have that much.
You can do like one load.
Yeah. But when you're 3 people, you have a lot. And when you have a teenager, you have even more of a lot. Teenagers just wear whatever they wear and throw it in the laundry. That's just what they do.
Right.
So I went to a laundromat. I'm not going to name names here in the London area. The only one that I was really kind of aware of. I knew where it was. I went there on my own. I took the first trip on my own because the weather was lousy and there wasn't much else to do. And so I loaded up what we had and I went. And I just assumed, it's 2023. I just assumed laundromats, you just tap with your phone. You tap and you go, or you tap with your card.
You didn't have any change, did
I had
you?
no change with me. And
You didn't win at golf that week? That would have been helpful, wouldn't it?
I have a bag of change in the car, but I'm not spending that on my laundry.
Oh.
That's not what I'm doing.
All right.
Anyway, so it turns out none, and I've been to several laundromats through this experiment. None of the laundromats that I have been to, they all take change. Loonies, quarters, no toonies. And it's...
Really?
Yes. Which really thoroughly surprised me. Now,
All the machines are pre-1996.
I don't know.
Yeah, really.
I don't know.
They're not
Really,
tapping or
But they
anything.
take,
Never.
anyway,
No.
so...
They don't even take toonies.
So the first time I went, I got no. So I had to go get. I didn't even have money with me. So I had enough to get a load going. Then I went to the bank. I had to find a bank. Then I got some money.
Right.
Guy gives me change there, and I get my loads in. I get the I do the draw, and I'm texting because it's a weekday. I'm texting my wife saying, "This is a 2-person job.
Doing laundry.
Thanks very much."
Oh, boy.
Oh, no.
So we then
I'd love to see the response text.
Well,
Yeah.
she sort of agreed.
Yeah.
I
What did
have
she say? It's a
never-
2-person job at home, too?
No, at home.
Yeah,
it's not.
right.
Anyway, so we've now after that one episode, we did laundry as a pair, and we got very kind of good at. You go get the change, and I'll go get machines, and I'll throw this in there. And we got good at it. So we went to this place 2 or 3 times. But it was, it's busy, and they don't, like I would like to be there like first thing on a Saturday or a Sunday morning. Just get it done. Like 7. But they don't open till 9. 9! That's too late. Everybody's awake at 9.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
You're not
Yeah.
going to beat the crowds at 9.
No.
So then we found a friend told us about one place, and then we found another place that was in a quiet little neighborhood. I don't want to say exactly where, but it was in a quiet neighborhood.
You don't want to give away your secrets.
Well, no,
your
so
secret spots.
We stopped in there just to give it a little scope. On a Saturday afternoon, there was hardly anybody in the place. They had a change machine. Nobody seemed, and it looked okay. I mean, it really looked okay. It wasn't busy.
Okay.
So we went. We went the following morning, first thing in the morning. Nobody there. We were the first ones there.
Right.
We load up our stuff, went for a little walk, came back, threw it in the dryer, went a little further, got a coffee, came back, got everything in the car. We were out of there. It was great. We loved it.
Awesome.
It was perfect. Worked great.
Good.
So the long weekend in May, we went back. We had nothing to. Saturday was a miserable day. This is rainy and cold and
Yeah.
miserable. So we
Yeah.
thought, why don't we just go do laundry? So we stopped in there on a Saturday once.
There's
there was nobody
there's
there.
an event we
Let's
can go
just
to.
get it over with.
Yes.
So we
There's
were,
an
sure,
activity.
Let's go do it. So we go.
Tell us the age group you're in without telling us the age group you're in. Let's spend the Saturday of the long weekend doing laundry.
Well, yeah, but it was miserable.
It
out
was a
Foreman.
crappy
It was
day
a
that
horrible
year, yeah.
day. You couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
So we go like in cold too. I'm telling you, it's like 12
this is making me
degrees.
sad.
It was sad. So we get there. And when we get
I
there,
wish you had pictures.
a guy walks out. Well, I should tell you at the other laundromat, I think the very last time we were at the other laundromat, I held the door open for a couple as they were coming in, and we were going outside. And anyway, I held the door open, and he comes up to me later and goes, I used to listen to you all the time. And I went, oh, that's good. That's what I want.
Now look what he's become.
Yeah, look at me at the laundromat.
Now I'm at the laundromat.
Yeah, look at Bougie. He's at the laundromat. Anyway,
I've never in my life used a laundromat.
anyway, well, it's fun.
Oh,
It's fun. And I'm the
I don't even know.
I'm the bougie one. I'm the bougie
Yeah.
one. Okay. Anyway, so we go on the yes, you're right, Foreman. Saturday of a long weekend, we're doing some laundry, and we get there, and there's a guy walking out. He's got no laundry with him, but he's in a hurry. He seems to be in a hurry to get out, and he hops on a bike, and we both looked at one another and went, well, I don't think we can go for a walk with our laundry in here now. Because he didn't seem to have any laundry. And that's a little, and there's no one there really. There's cameras, I think, but there's no one
No
there
one's watching it. No one's there.
supervising. Anyway, turns out there was, in the back of the laundromat, another individual who was clearly unfortunate and homeless, and
Okay.
we felt very sorry for her. And even asked us at one point if we had a clean pair of pants. Unfortunately, we didn't. We didn't even have any pants in a load. So we just thought, now I see what's going on at this laundromat. It's and I get it. It was cold, Foreman, and that's what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It was a
Cold and
miserable
crappy.
cold day.
Yeah.
And so I think if you are without a home, I think you know where to go to get warm.
Sure.
I
Yeah,
think.
you'll find
And I
places
feel
that
for
are
you.
open.
I feel for you.
Yep.
But,
So-
the options that are available are not as plentiful as you might think and not as accommodating as you want them to be.
Certainly not. Certainly
Right.
not.
And perhaps not as secure. Like they're not always.
Oh,
that
gosh,
safe.
no. Yeah.
So laundromat number 3. Somebody
Okay.
told us about another laundromat. It was a bit of a drive.
Okay.
And so we go, this is very close to where we used to work, Rachel. Very close to
Okay.
Communications Road and Commissioners out that way.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So a friend of ours said, oh, it's big and it's got, so we scoped it out first and went, yeah, this is kind of nice. And they open at 7:30 on Sunday.
Oh, that's your time,
That's
Dave.
my time.
That's your time.
So we got there at 7:35 on
Okay.
the following day. The 7:35, the place is packed.
Oh
And I
my.
mean,
That's everybody's time. Turns out.
Anyway, we got through that thing, and then so we were like, we got wise. Said next time we go, we're going out. We're going to be there before 7:30 in the lineup.
In the lineup.
Same people we saw the week before.
There's a lineup to
They're
get in.
lined up to get in.
How many machines are you allowed to use at one time?
We had 3. I think
And
3
were they
is the
all
only.
were they all used?
Oh, at one point, the last time we were there, there were 6-7 people waiting for your machine.
Oh,
In
my
fact,
gosh.
a lady was staring at she was waiting at our first machine, and I said to Jana, I got to hurry and get that out of there. 'Cause she wants in.
Yes.
So I unload that, and
Are you allowed to take that many?
You could. Well, sure. If the
There's no
machine's free,
limit?
you take them.
Yeah, okay.
But there's no tolerance for leaving your stuff in your machine.
Yeah,
if
get
it's
it
in
out.
there,
No.
get it out.
Right,
I
as
learned
soon as that
lesson.
beeps.
You get it out.
Okay,
So
all right.
I get the
Is there a
stuff-
timer on it? Like how long?
No, you just know. Like I grab it, so I get the stuff out. I pile that into one of the dryers, and this lady's on it. She's in
Right,
it.
yeah.
So we've got all of our stuff in the dryer. Now we're just sitting back having a coffee, waiting for the dryers to, and then we can unload and we get out of here.
Okay.
So if she comes over to me and says, "There's a red in with my whites," and I said,
Your laundry.
"Yeah," I said, "I'm really sorry. I checked. I spun it around and I checked." She goes, "Well, I checked too, but and she says, "It's okay. I'm just letting you know. There's a red. Something of yours is in with my whites."
Oh,
So
no.
Now here's what's frightening to me. So I'm racking my
boy.
brain, going,
What's
so
red?
I don't own a lot of red.
Right.
However, I do have two
Uh-oh.
pair of red boxers,
Underpants.
underpants, and that's not what I want to be pulling out of her laundry.
No.
I mean, and that's not what I would want in my laundry.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
This woman
So-
doesn't want to find a red
Yeah.
pair of boxers
Anyway,
in her
so
laundry.
so her machine,
Yeah.
she waves and says, and then so I head over. It's very close to where the dryers are anyway.
Did
And
she wave or was she waving
pulls-
them
she Just
around?
waved, no, she's waved. It's done. So I wander over, and she pulls out this red thing and hands it to me, and it's not my underwear.
Oh,
Thank
okay.
goodness.
That's good.
And it's a shirt, and I look at it and go, I don't even think this is ours. So I'm kind of holding it like this, and I say, "Hey, Jana,
Is this ours?
do you recognize?" She goes, "That's not ours."
Oh,
So I
so
said,
it's not your fault.
"Excuse me, but this doesn't belong to us."
Uh-oh.
And she turns her head and looks at one side, looks at the other side, and goes, "Oh, you know what? That is mine.
Oh, my gosh.
Sorry.
Don't make me feel bad about turning all your whites pink because of my red boxer shorts.
And
And
now
then
do-
it's not them.
Yeah. And now you understand why it was such a pleasure to do laundry at home last night."
Yes. I don't blame you.
This is Due to Underwhelming Demand, the podcast that's like a dad on Father's Day. No one really notices. No one really cares.
It's the opposite of
That's
middle-aged
not
men.
true.
That's right.
It's the opposite of middle-aged men, though, at a Shania Twain concert, I'll tell you that.
Oh, is that
Oh.
right?
Let's go, boys.
Oh, my. Were there a lot of
yes.
middle-aged men there?
See, and they were into it.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
I bet you
Yeah.
from all of them, Shania Twain was their first crush.
Yes.
I bet you for every
Guess,
single one.
Guess.
Of course.
I'm really having a hard
That's
time
why they're
with,
there.
with the excitement over Shania Twain touring again because, again, I mean, it's
Yes.
sort of like.
Well, I
it's
saw
like,
she puts on a really good show. I saw her twice in London.
Yeah, you know, I don't
She's
know.
it's awesome. It's an
I don't
awesome show.
know. I mean, how many times can you hear, you're right, man, I feel. How many times can you hear those songs?
Wow.
I don't know. I guess for some
are
people,
classics.
I guess for some people, it's part of their growing up. When you're on the radio, let me just say about Shania Twain, and God bless Shania Twain,
Yes.
because I started back at BX right when "Whose Bed Have Your Boots Been Under" had just come out. And she became this international superstar.
Yeah.
And it's CanCon, ladies and gentlemen. That
Yes.
stuff is Canadian talent,
Yeah.
which means when you're on the radio and you get really not that there's bad CanCon, but there's
There is.
bad
There's a lot.
CanCon and there's good CanCon, and then
There's CanCon you wouldn't play and if
Yeah.
you weren't mandated to, that's for sure.
Why do you think the classic rock
Yeah.
station plays so much Bryan Adams?
Well,
Why do you
Yeah.
think they? Why do
There
they
was a
play-
time
Gee,
when
they
I-
play BTO a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think?
I didn't think April Wine were that popular.
Yes, that's exactly
When I was
right.
growing up, I hated Shania Twain because I heard her all the time.
And
Yeah.
that's why.
Yeah.
Because and she crossed over. She became popular in the pop. So
Yep.
Yeah.
So she was on
everybody's-
every station
every
all the
station's
time.
playing.
Yeah.
So when you're the
But now that I don't hear her
Yeah.
as much, when I do hear the songs, I'm like, yes.
it's kind of fun. I guess so. Okay. Anyway, so she was in Halifax for me.
Yes, I think it's her first time ever playing in Halifax.
Oh, really?
Oddly enough. I mean,
Ever.
she's played around the Maritimes plenty of times, but just for
Yeah.
some reason, not here. And by the way, imagine being on a station that doesn't have to play just 35% CanCon, but 40% CanCon.
Oh,
You do? 40?
We love Shania Twain on our station.
Yes,
I
you
bet.
do.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
Bet you
But
do.
she puts on a great show. And at whatever,
She
50
really
something
does.
years old, man, is she ever in shape. Man, is she ever happy to show it all off.
Okay.
I mean, if
is-
I looked like that at age 50 or even
Oh, yeah.
now, I would
Oh,
be
yeah.
the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's right.
we're recording this the day after. I barely slept because I just saw her last night with Ashley.
So it's fresh in your mind.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
And the day this comes out, she will be in London tomorrow night.
Oh, right.
there you
yes.
go. Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
And
I
these,
didn't
I
know
mean,
that.
these shows sold out like that. Like she does 2 back-to-back shows in Moncton, sold out, Quebec City, Montreal, London, and then goes all over the world and comes back through Canada again.
Wow.
She will. You might think the songs are tired, but she will gladly take your money to sing them again.
Absolutely.
Well, no,
again,
and
again,
She will.
and again.
Sure.
Again,
That's
and part
right.
of the reason why I'm a little tired of them is because I played them a lot.
A lot. Yeah.
You know, and sometimes it's really kind of neat actually to go to a show like that where you play those songs a lot on the radio because really you only ever really hear the beginning and the end. That's all you ever hear.
Yeah, 'cause in the middle you're talking and planning
Is,
and-
the middle is kind of fun to hear. Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
know. I didn't know that was part
Yeah.
of the song.
At
Yeah.
the risk of sounding like a huge asshole.
Okay.
This tour in particular, she seems to have wanted to incorporate a number of the newer music she's been doing lately. So for people of a certain age that may have to otherwise use the bathroom frequently anyway, it's great.
Okay.
Thanks, Foreman. Thank you for that.
You are
Thank
well. You can
Thank
look
you.
up her set list for London tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And you know exactly when to get a beer, when to go to the bathroom.
Okay. Perfect.
All the
Perfect.
song titles you don't recognize.
All right. Okay.
Anyway, but Ashley and I are there, and we get a
Okay.
babysitter to come take care of the girls.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yes,
of course. Big night out.
Yep.
Yeah, Harley's 10, not quite babysitting age yet, and
No.
Emily's
No.
6.
Yep.
So we are even planning on trying to see if we can get Emily in bed before the babysitter even shows up, and then we're not even telling her we're going anywhere.
Right.
Didn't quite work out that well.
Okay.
That's okay, fine. We have a babysitter. She's in high school. She's lovely, wonderful, plays with the girls. Girls love when she comes over. So
Good.
it's all fine. By the time we get, the show starts at 7:30. Robin Ottolini starts. She plays for half an hour, and everyone's getting settled. So, by the time you get in through the crowds, get some beers, find your seats. We're on the floor. Really nice seats.
Nice.
Now it's like 7:45. So we're see a couple more songs of the opener, and then we're ready to rock. Let's go, girls.
Okay. Let's go, girls.
yeah.
7:50 p.m. Text from the babysitter.
Oh.
Emily puked a little into a bowl.
Oh boy. Oh no.
Right as soon as I glance and get the gist of that text,
Yeah.
I'm immediately
That's it.
thinking, "Are you fucking kidding?"
Yeah. Of course.
Oh,
Tonight,
that's-
kid. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what you want.
She is not sick. She's totally fine otherwise. But are we out of the house?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, why?
She probably just had too much candy or could be anything.
And then they're
Yeah.
up late after that anyway, right? They're not going
No.
back by their normal
You're not
bedtime.
going to bed right
Oh,
after
no.
that.
Oh, no. And it's very upsetting for children, especially. So this is the youngest, right?
Yes.
It's very, I know that when Charlotte was sick when she was young, it upset her. She would be upset.
Yeah, of course.
Like she's not happy.
No one's thrilled.
And she really wants, especially when, say, mom's working. And
Yeah.
dad's the only one around. Where's mom? I would need mom.
Right.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's even worse
I
when
can't
it's
help you.
Mom and dad are not there. Yeah.
And mom and dad are out for the night, and mom and dad have pre-booked an Uber to come pick us up at 10:30, not a moment earlier.
And I'm going to assume
So
that
we are
that
not
dad,
coming home before then.
I can't
Yes.
speak for mom, but I can speak for dad. I'll bet there was a couple, 2-3 sociable beverages in, I would say, by that time.
Well, one can might have been crushed while we were debating on whether or not we had to leave or not. And a couple of more were consumed, and it turned out, we didn't have to come home.
Okay,
Emily was
good.
fine.
Perfect.
I mean,
Good.
I haven't seen her yet today because this was last night, and I'm at work early in the morning,
Right,
so I don't know
yeah.
how much of a disaster
So
she's
she
gonna
still
be
went
today.
to school because she was
Yes.
fine.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good.
Oh, that's good. Then
That
everything
just,
worked out.
sometimes that happens. Kids just throw up sometimes
I know. I don't
for
know
no
if that's,
reason.
I mean, is that better or worse? Because before the show, we ran into this family with 2 girls, basically the same ages as ours. And it's a mom and dad and the 2 kids, and they're at that concert. It's those kids' first concert ever.
Oh wow.
Oh.
And I'm
That's
trying
a
to
good
chat with
first
her about,
concert.
we've got a babysitter and our kids are at home. They're like,
Yeah.
this is a great experience for them. They're going to love it.
Yes.
Think of
Sure.
the memories they're going to make.
Listen, if you're
Yes.
willing to pay for the tickets for your kids and they're
Yes.
going to like it and last through the whole thing,
Yes.
have at it.
Yes.
My kid would whine in the second act.
Yeah, but you could have had.
She's not coming.
Yeah, see, you could have had the 2 girls there, and your youngest would have been puking in the seats at the where was the show at?
Scotiabank Center.
There you go.
Yeah, but it wouldn't have
Would
mattered because half the people are puking after all
Well,
those beers.
we were on the
That's what
floor.
you see.
Doesn't matter.
That's not exactly what you see at a
Just join-
Shania Twain
join
show.
the fun.
Look
No.
at all the people puking.
We were
says
on the
Rachel.
floor, and there was
I'm
a couple
sure.
of incidents where the staff rushed by with a mop bucket.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. People are definitely puking at
Okay,
concerts.
I didn't know that. I
Well, she was going to puke at home or there, so best that you didn't have to deal with it.
Dave, if I were to paint you a nicer picture, you know the show Trailer Park Boys?
I certainly do.
It's remarkably accurate for life in Nova Scotia.
All I need to know, Foreman. All I need to know. This is Due to Underwhelming Demand, the podcast that is in need of a sponsor. I mean, it's just, it's sad, but we...
The price of a cup of coffee a day.
That's right. That's right.
World Vision.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We need a sponsor.
Well, it's not that dire,
You
guys.
can we are sponsorable. You can sponsor us. We'd
You can
love
sponsor us?
Yes, we've had we've had a lot of people who have been our sponsors who seem to have done well from the sponsorship. So it does work.
Yes. Well, the Calves for a Cause people, they were a sponsor for a while, and they doubled their donations for their fundraiser this year.
Yeah. There you go.
And so they advertised with us. They did other advertising as well. So congratulations to them. And we were happy to be a small part of that. If you would like to sponsor us, or if you just want some information on rates, we can send you that. You can email us at daverachelforman@gmail.com, or just message us on any of our social media platforms or whatever. We'll get it to you.
Well, we like to hear from you anyway, so that's how to get a hold of us.
Yeah, daverachelforman@gmail.com. No E in Foreman.
Yeah.
No.
But you can message us anytime.
Yeah, I got a quick couple of updates, a few comments. Tammy commented about where, Rachel, you're talking about, shopping your school's lost and found section.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
And Tammy says, I used to.
Okay, yeah.
Mostly I would find my own stuff, like my real Tupperware.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
I would also find the odd other thing or two. Just saying.
I think at the end of the school year, you can pretty much take whatever you want because
It's
they're
a
going to get rid of
free-for-all.
it.
Yep. It's
So
a
that's what I'm
free-for-all.
saying, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, so, somebody else had messaged us. I listened to the Lost and Found episode. I'm a teacher and I shop at the Lost and Found all the time. I'd be leery to take things from a hospital Lost and Found, though. A hospital always has two, a real Lost and Found and a butt box. And I was like, what the hell is a butt box? And she says, the butt box is lost and found for all the things that have been removed from a patient's butt.
Oh.
Why are you keeping them? Put them
Okay.
in the biohazard box.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I was like, oh my God, how many things are removed from butts? That's crazy.
And what
Anyway.
are they?
She didn't reply. I don't know.
And can you
But I
attach
think
some
that's
x-rays
hysterical.
as example?
I know. Well,
don't-
she's a teacher. She doesn't work at the hospital.
I also got a direct message from Scotty, who's perhaps our only Nova Scotian listener at this point.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah,
We
Hi,
talked
Scotty.
about him last week.
Scotty.
Yeah. But he was saying that, hey, I'm listening to the first episode of your podcast on a Bluetooth speaker I found in the trash. You guys have great chemistry.
There's a couple of things at play there that sort of bother me. But okay, Scotty, thank you. We appreciate the compliment, I think.
I guess that's good. Why did you pull it out of the trash?
I'm not
Did
sure.
you know that you just pulled it out to test it?
I'm listening
I
to
have a
you
lot
on
of questions for
Bluetooth-
Scotty.
A Bluetooth that I pulled out of the trash.
Nova
You guys-
Scotia.
You guys aren't bad.
Trailer Park Boys.
Okay.
Okay, all right, got
Checks
it.
out.
All right.
All right, checks out.
On
Okay.
our last show, Foreman, you talked about good idea, bad idea, Law and Order Toronto. They're making a Law and Order Toronto.
Yes.
So we have this message from Ainsley, and she says, "This is how I know your show and I were meant to be," which I love. I think that's an amazing line. Growing up, my mom loved all the Law and Order seasons, and I liked them to a point. While scrolling through my on-demand for something new to binge, I fell upon season 21 of Law and Order, so I had to try it.
21.
I guess.
21
seasons.
Wow.
Well, that was when I was getting ready for work on a Tuesday morning. Guess what I listened on my way to work that day? Good idea, bad idea. Our podcast. By the way, Dick Wolf, bad idea on Law and Order Toronto.
Yeah.
Just call it quits already. 32 years of a series and side series is more than enough. And that's coming from somebody who does watch it.
True.
Yeah. So it's too much. It's too much. I think the Toronto one will have one season and it'll fail. That's my prediction.
I
You
agree.
think right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Ainsley, thank you for the line that I would like to use in my regular conversation now, where I can say to anyone in any context, well, by the way, Dick Wolf.
By the way, Dick Wolf. Yeah. Yeah. It does work, doesn't it?
That's right.